Hi everybody, Elizabeth here from Petals and Parchment. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. This is week 12 of the Reflective Rolodex challenge, where we focus on mindfulness and gratitude and enjoying our art practice. Before we get started, let's go ahead and light our candles and think about setting a nice intention for this time in our art practice. I'm grateful for this time that I get to create each week with you. Okay, if you've visited me before, then you know for this practice, I like to sort of ease into the experience by taking a few deep, relaxing breaths and releasing any tension from the week that we might be holding on to. So if you'd like to join me, go ahead and close your eyes if you feel comfortable. And take a nice deep breath in. And exhale through your mouth. And try to feel the weight of your seat beneath you. Take a nice big deep breath in. And try to let go of everything that might be stressing you out. And get really relaxed and ready to craft. Exhale through your mouth. Smile if you feel inclined to. Think of something that you're grateful for. Let's take one more big deep breath in. Wiggle your fingers and your toes and let that breath out through your mouth. When you're ready, open your eyes and let's get started. Okay, so before we get started, we'll just talk about the journaling prompts here for a few minutes. So we're on week 4, which discusses stepping into new beginnings. Go ahead and look over these journaling prompts and see if you'd like to focus on any of them this week. For me, I've already looked at them and I've decided to focus on trying something new. So what is a skill, hobby, or activity you've always wanted to try, and what is it and what's stopping you? So I would say I, within the last few years, really wanted to try making like jewelry out of clay. I always see these really incredible artists making earrings and things like that, and it looks so fun and relaxing and pretty. But I would say what's stopping me is that I don't have enough time, obviously, and I also don't have any space for anything besides paper crafting in my life. There's also a financial barrier there, but also a space barrier. I do have a very full space dedicated to paper crafting, so that's definitely not going to happen. I also think that my husband would not like it very much if I started another hobby or craft, but in the meantime, I can at least watch all the incredible artists and reels and things showing us how they make really cool patterns and jewelry and stuff like that, and live vicariously through them. I do like playing with clay. Maybe I could take a class sometime and just make a single pair of earrings or something like that and try my hand at it just to say I did it, but not gonna be picking up any new hobbies anytime soon. So what about you? Do you have any hobbies that you've been interested in? Will you take them up? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so for today, I thought we could do another fun mixed media technique, which is called masking. Now, if you want to join me, then you'll just need a white crayon, or any color crayon would probably work for you. And then if you have masking fluid, that's great. I do have some, but I'm a little nervous to try it, so I'm going to make it a point to play with that supply and then give it a try, and maybe I'll share that at some other point. But for now, I'm just going to use a good old-fashioned crayon. I did see Suzanne at Nonstop Papercrafts recently use embossing powder as her masking, so that was pretty neat. I never thought to do that. This is what I've been wanting to try for several weeks. So what I'm just gonna do is make some doodles on my card and then just paint over them with some green watercolor paints. And this is just a watercolor set that I have had for a really long time. These are they're probably just generic, but They're kind of pearl colored, and I have several greens here, so I'm still working in greens because I'm getting really excited for spring. This week was the first day of spring, and I can't wait until there are no more signs of winter. It's been pretty chilly still. So all I'm gonna do is some doodles here, and I was thinking, would I do squiggles or I don't know, rainbow or something like that, but I think I'm just gonna do different size polka dots all over, and this will create my background. My daughter was so nice, she let me borrow her white crayon. Okay, so I've just drawn some simple polka dots there, and then I've got just some water here. I'm gonna just simply start painting over the polka dots with the watercolor paint, and let's see what happens. I think I'm gonna do some diagonal paint marks here. So far it's not showing up too much. I can see it in the darker color more than the lighter color. So I'm just going to go over that again and see if I have any more luck. And then I'm going to try to blend the edges here. Those polka dots are starting to come through a little bit. I really like that light green. That's really pretty. Go back to the dark color. That's more of a pearl blue there. So I'm going to add a little bit more green to that. Just adding a little bit more color to get those white dots to stand out a little bit more. Okay, I'll be right back while I dry this. Okay, so this is what the card looks like so far, and you can see a little bit of white where the crayon resisted the paint. Not quite as pronounced as I had hoped or thought it would be, but it's still pretty and creates some interest. But we're gonna add a little bit more interest now. So I've got some stamps, and I've got a bottle of paint mixed with water, some different colors of green ink, and I'm just gonna stamp some images here, do sort of a mixed media background here, just like my new favorite thing to do. And I'm just gonna mix the greens here. So now we've got this layer right here. Okay, so now I'm going to take the tiniest amount of texture paste here, and I'm just going to add some green paint to it. Make too much of a mess here. I just want the tiniest bit. Oops, that's a little bit more than I anticipated. I find myself always trying to put supplies back in the tube. I always take too much. Okay, and I'm just going to mix it, and that's a nice pea green color that I've got here. And then I'm just going to use this stencil right here on top of the work that I've already done. I'll do it like this. Okay, so I have this now, and I'm just going to dry this, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of this Art Deco nail art lacquer and apply it on the card. Since the crayon that I masked with didn't show up quite as much as I wanted it to, I'm just going to add a little bit of white details here. I actually got this at the Dollar Tree, and I was intrigued by it because it said that it had a fine tip applicator. So let's see, not sure if you can see that. Okay, it is nail polish. I've used nail polish on my paper art before, but I was really stoked to see this fine tip applicator that I could use. So I'm just probably gonna do some little X's all over to create a little bit of contrast and a little bit more interest. Then I'm just gonna look at it and see if I think anything's missing. I think I'll do a couple little polka dots up here and maybe a few along the bottom here. I'm just trying to draw the eye all around. Okay, I'll dry this one more time, be right back. This is what we have so far. I think it looks pretty rad. Okay, let's keep going. We're gonna add a couple more layers and then call it done. So first I have this. Okay, first I have this like little grid pattern, painted it green with this paint spray bottle. This is this drywall joint tape, and This will probably last me forever, but it's sticky and it comes in this big roll that I got, and I love this so much. I love the texture. So I dyed some green with the paint, and it's self-adhering, so it's already stuck down. And then I've got some like green and yellow thread here that I pulled off of sari silk that I was using for another project. So I'm just going to cut a few strands of this. Really just a little bit will do. I've been keeping all of my thread from like my sewing machine, and when I pull some pretty colors off of the sari silk, and I feel like it adds a lot of interest to projects. So that's where I got that from. Just some messy, colorful thread. And I've been organizing my sentiments by type and color. I want some green, maybe a quote. See if I have like the right color label. I'm going to probably, this looks pretty. I think I'm just gonna commit and glue all of this down. I'm realizing I really like butterflies and string and mixed media techniques. I'm just really starting to have so much fun. Thank you for joining me for this fun session today. One more. Okay, I'm just going to commit and stick everything down and we'll be good to go. Just going to do a little bit of inking first, tie it all together. Okay, here's our finished card. A little bit of risk taking and a whole lot of fun. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this time we spent on card number 12 and reflecting on some things to be mindful about. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Have a great crafty weekend, everybody. Bye.